Hello, this is Joe. I'd like to tell you about my booster pack that I designed for the TI Stellaris LaunchPad. My booster pack is a servo driver. It lets you drive 12 servos with your LaunchPad. Here's what it looks like. And it includes a power supply circuit using a TI switching regulator and a voltage sensing circuit so you can sense the level of the battery that you're using to drive the servos and your LaunchPad. This is my original motivation in wanting to build the Servo booster pack. This is a 12 servo hexapod chassis. I bought this from SparkFun. It's relatively inexpensive. It comes with all of the servos and these leg pieces and this round piece in the middle here, the chassis, and it has plenty of mounting holes in it so you can route wires through there or attach your own controller board. Here's the 12 servo booster pack. In the middle here we have the standard LaunchPad connectors here and here. So the Stellaris LaunchPad attaches to these. And on each side we have connectors for 6 servos, and they're arranged in pairs. And each pair is associated with a wide timer. So the wide timers have an A and a B half, so each half controls one of the servos. In the middle here I have a switching power supply. This is a TI part, and this can provide 5 amps at 5 volts for all of the servos plus the LaunchPad. And it's meant to be powered from a lithium polymer battery which plugs in here on the side, and I've actually made some changes to this board design to fix this connector here to keep it from sticking out so far. Down here on the bottom is a little op-amp circuit that reads the battery voltage and translates it into a voltage range that can be fed into the A to D converter on the Stellaris LaunchPad. So you can actually use one of the A to D converters to read the battery voltage. So if you wanted to write some smart software to be able to detect when your battery's low, you can use it for that. I also have a couple of options on here. There's a jumper right here. It's a little bit hard to see in this video. This bridges the 5 volts from this power supply here to the LaunchPad. So you could, if you open that jumper, then 5 volts is not delivered to the LaunchPad. Instead, you can supply the LaunchPad from here. So what this allows you to do is power the LaunchPad from a separate 5 volt supply if you want to. You could also continue to power it from the USB connector. You'll notice on here I've got some fixes for a couple of mistakes. So I've since revised the board design to correct these 2 problems you see here, and also kind of change this connector around a little bit. So the version of the board that's now on my GitHub is revised and fixes these problems. So I designed this board with the intention that the LaunchPad sits on top of it. And so I put mounting holes on here because the LaunchPad doesn't have mounting holes. Sometimes it's hard to mount it to your project. So I thought I can use the mounting holes on here and then put the LaunchPad on top, and that's a convenient way to secure the LaunchPad to your project. So the LaunchPad is meant to go on top like this. But if you wanted to install these kind of header sockets like this on the bottom of your servo board, then you could alternatively put the servo board on top of the LaunchPad if you wanted to build it that way. Now there is one additional modification that's required to the LaunchPad to use this. This connector right here brings out the PWM signals from wide timer 4, and those 2 signals on the LaunchPad are right here and used for this USB for the device connector. So that's those 2 right there. So I installed another header right there to let you connect to the connector on the booster pack. Now if you don't care about wide timer 4 using it to drive servos, then you can just leave that off and it would work fine. And what this means is that if you're using that for servo, you can't use this for USB. I've securely attached the servo booster pack to the hexapod. using the mounting holes and standoffs. I've plugged all the servos into the booster pack, and now I'm ready to install the launch pad. And the launch pad is installed and I'm ready to test. I'm providing power to the booster pack from this bench supply over here. I've got it plugged into the board right here. This is representing a battery. I don't have a battery right now to test with, so I'm using a bench supply. And this booster pack is powering all the servos and the launch pad. I've installed a simple test program on here to move the servos around, so I'll run that right now. I wrote a servo driver software for the servo booster pack, and I've posted that on my GitHub, and that's what I was demonstrating right there. I don't have any walking software yet, but once I write some walking software, I'll post that on the GitHub as well. So that's my 12 servo booster pack for TI Stellaris LaunchPad. I've posted details on my website and all of the design files and the source code on my GitHub. Thank you for viewing.